Let's get it. What's going on, fellas? What's going on? Ah, let's get it. Let's get the live stream reloaded, guys. All right, and if we got anybody tuning in yet, uh, let's see. Oh, let's get back. Let's get back. If we got anybody tuning in yet, and if you can hear me already, put a one in the chat if the sound is good. All right, fellas. Running a tad bit late because of some technical difficulties. The live stream wouldn't start, so I had to reload a bunch of stuff and get it started. Boom. Now we're in. Now we're in. Now we are in. All right. Let's get close up on me, fellas. Get close up on me. All right. Y'all let me know if that's a good view, man. I want to make sure if that's a good view. All right. Let's get it. Let's get it, fellas. So today we are going to be talking about testosterone and how it attracts women and why women love men with high testosterone. All right, fellas. Let's get it. Boom. All right, let's go. We live, baby. We live. All right, fellas. Now, first things first, man. Why does high testosterone turn on women? All right, fellas. You guys know I talk a lot about masculine excellence, how to be the best version of yourself, how to become a top tier man, how to live a fulfilled life. All right, guys. And one of the things that you want to get in order, and one of the things that you definitely need to take care of is your testosterone. Okay, guys, is your hormones, um, all your blood levels, guys. You want to make sure you get this stuff checked out. Okay, guys, for several reasons. For several reasons. One, because we all know testosterone levels are dropping significantly every year. Okay, guys, every year. It's going to naturally drop 1% every year as a man by the time you reach the age of 21, I believe. Okay, guys, soon as you hit adulthood, your testosterone is dropping. So your hormones are working against you. So you have to do things to counteract that. You have to do things to make sure that you fight back on the natural decline of your testosterone. So there's a few things you should not be doing. Okay, guys. I did a few videos of things that you should be staying away from to keep your testosterone up. Definitely recommend you guys go check those videos out. I also have a free testosterone booster guide in the description. A link for that is in the description. You guys can go check that out. Go grab that. All right. It's 100% free. I give you 13 key ways to boost your testosterone naturally. Um, Easy, practical ways, man. Stuff like things you should be eating, things you should be putting in and on your body, things you should be staying away from. Because having had high testosterone is only going to get you great results out of life. Okay, fellas, anybody who tries to ridicule you or criticize you for wanting to take care of your testosterone, either they don't understand or they're jealous because they know that you're going to get better results and they know that you're going to do better in life because you have high testosterone. Okay, fellas? So, free testosterone booster guide, link is in the description. That's one of the announcements. If you have not grabbed that, I just released that a few weeks ago. I've had over 500 guys already get the free testosterone booster. If you grab the testosterone booster, you will be on my email list where I'll be sending you tips and tricks and little keynotes on how to keep your testosterone up. All right, fellas. Also, some other things on body game, how to be in the best shape of your life, and things like that. All right, fellas. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Michael Vargas. Shout out to Thomas Dioro. What up, G? Shout out to Fear Soul, always in the chat. All right, fellas. Another announcement. If you are not a member of the channel yet, make sure you go ahead and join the channel. You will get access to the live streams, members only live streams, members only videos. I did get a few members over the past few days. Shout out to you guys for joining the channel. So free memberships, not free memberships, but um, access to live streams, access to members only videos. You're going to get member badges. I have top tier customized member badges. So y'all go get that, man. Okay. Inside the membership, I'm going to be doing exclusive content. Okay, guys, I've already done a couple videos exclusively for my members. These are things that I will not be talking about on the main videos. Also, we have a members only live stream coming up on, I believe, Tuesday. All right, guys, and it's going to be a body game Q&A, private exclusive body game Q&A, where I'm going to be able to focus more on the members. Okay, guys, the guys who have access to the live stream, and I'll be answering questions, giving you guys tips, pretty much answering whatever question you have related to nutrition, related to meal prepping, as far as body game. All right, guys, it's going to be a very valuable live stream. So anybody who's a member, shout out to all the members. Anybody who's a member, it's going to be very great for you. Okay, guys. I mean, you can go out and get a nutrition plan, a meal plan, but to be able to have these questions answered for you live in real time, that's going to be very valuable. All right, guys. So that's another thing I'm going to be doing. Also, as you guys know, another thing I'm excited about, top tier fragrances, guys. If you have not visited my website, thetoptierman.com, make sure you go visit. The link is in the description for that as well. I have a few unique fragrances I definitely recommend you try. Okay, guys. We have the top tier charisma, also the top tier Superman. Those are definitely lady killers and panty droppers. All right, fellas. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to be going to a local. We have a barber expo. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you guys know anything about Houston, Texas, but we got a barber expo over in warehouse in Houston, and man, it's going to be a big event. I'm going to be out there meeting and greeting people, giving people samples of the fragrances, having people try them on. I will be delivering you guys some content from tomorrow's event. So that's going to be real good for you guys. Something new that I have not been doing that I will be doing coming up, man. Coming up. So that's going to be great. All right, guys. But let's get into the topic for today, fellas. Let's get rolling. All right. I hate announcements, man. I hate having to, do all this extra stuff, G. I just like getting into the topic, all right? So let's get into the topic, man. So what is testosterone? Okay, guys, what is testosterone and why is it crucial for men? All right, guys. So for this stream today, I have a lot of notes. I have a lot of notes because you guys know I like talking. I do not want to get off topic. I want to make sure I help you guys out with this and help you understand why you need high testosterone. Okay, fellas, do not listen to anyone who tells you that this is not a big deal. This is 100% a big deal. Okay, this is very crucial for your livelihood. This is very crucial for every aspect of life. Okay, every aspect of life. So a few of the main reasons why testosterone and high testosterone is so important for men is one, it affects your confidence. Okay, 100%. The difference between a man who has low testosterone and high testosterone is confidence. Okay, guys, that is one of the things that high testosterone will um what I want to say, it will increase. Okay, guys, it's going to increase you being sure of yourself. It's going to increase you being confident. A lot of guys, when they have high testosterone, they're usually very arrogant. Okay, guys, I mean, it is what it is. If you ever pay attention to a little boy, a little 7, 8, 13, 16-year-old boy, these little kids usually have a lot of confidence, especially little boys. I mean, little girls too. Kids, period, walk around with a lot of confidence. But little boys, they have a lot of confidence, especially little 13 to 16-year-old boys. The reason why is because they are loaded. They are loaded with extreme levels of testosterone. Okay, guys, one of the things that's going to help you getting over your fear of approaching people or being approached by people is your testosterone levels. Okay, guys, I'm not saying that testosterone is going to turn you from being an introvert to an extrovert, but it will help and it will assist on you being more confident with people, and not only people but just women. Okay, guys, another thing that high testosterone is going to fix is your body language. All right, fellas, your body language. having high testosterone is going to make you more masculine. All right, fellas, that's a simple fact about it. It will make you more masculine because that's what testosterone is. All right, fellas, it is a hormone. It is a hormone that is mostly found in men. High levels mostly found in men. Women have testosterone too, but women have a lot lower levels of testosterone. There is a small contingent of women who have high testosterone, but those women are outliers. All right, guys, they're outliers. Most women have high levels of estrogen, low levels of testosterone. Okay, guys, so this is a male hormone. So because it's a male hormone and you have a high amount of it, it's gonna make you more masculine. All right, it's gonna make you more manly. It's gonna make you stand up taller. It's gonna make your chest come out more. It's gonna make your body more broader. All right, fellas, and more solid. All right, guys. Another thing is social dominance. All right, fellas, having high testosterone. If you pay attention to men who have high testosterone, they're usually dominant in most situations when it comes to people. Most social situations, they're usually the more dominant men. All right, fellas, in most cases, not in all cases, because there are some situations where less dominant men get the higher of the hierarchy because of the position or the skill level. But in most natural social situations, like in friend groups or in relationships, men who have high testosterone usually take the dominant role in relationships, whether that be friendships, whether that be monogamous relationships, regardless. All right, fellas. Now, another thing, all right, fellas, survival and procreation. This is one of the reasons why testosterone is so sexy to women and why women will prefer men with high testosterone. Okay, fellas, since the beginning of time, men with higher testosterone usually were better men to pick when it came to surviving and procreating, meaning having babies with. Okay, fellas, this is a natural thing. As a woman would prefer a man who has high levels of testosterone, meaning he has high sperm count, meaning he has better genetics, meaning he has better energy, he's more ambitious. All of these masculine traits that women look for in men, those things are usually higher with the man with higher testosterone. All right, fellas. So you got to understand this, fellas. On a primal level, on a survival level, on a natural, sexual, biological, social level, women prefer men with higher testosterone levels. All right, fellas. Now I'm gonna get into some traits, some physical traits that men with higher testosterone have, and I'm gonna show you exactly why women prefer men with higher testosterone. All right, fellas. Now, if you paid attention to the thumbnail and the title of the video, all right. High testosterone makes women wet. And that's 100% true. And I say this all the time, G. Women can actually smell when you have high testosterone, guys. All right, fellas. When your testosterone is high, this is a hormone, remember. So this is going to release things like pheromones from your body when you're around women. Okay, guys. And women can pick up on these cues and they can tell when a man is a suitable mate. Okay, fellas, this is a primal thing that's been going on since we as humans have evolved. All right, fellas. So it's not just a woman can look at a man and be like, oh, well, he has, a V taper. So he has high testosterone. Or he has a strong jawline. He has a big old Adam's apple. Yeah, those are signs. But on more of a primal level, a woman can get close to you in your vicinity and pick up pheromones on your body. Okay, guys. And she can tell whether or not, at least have a sense of if you have high testosterone. All right, fellas. This is why this is such a big deal. You know how like guys are always talking about semen retention and how a woman can tell when you're on semen retention, guys. All right. The reason why a lot of guys say that is because a woman can tell when you are ready to procreate. Okay, guys. This is a natural thing. This is a natural thing. All right, fellas, depending on what time in her cycle she's in, depending on whether she's pre or post cycle, depending on how high or how fast her hormones are raging, this has a lot to do with it. All right, fella. These are all primal things. So when you have high testosterone, because I'm gonna tell y'all this, something y'all probably didn't know, guys. There's like a week or a few days, and somebody in the chat correct me if I'm getting off with this or if I'm wrong about this, but there's about a week or a few days before a woman's period. Okay, guys, when she's at her horniest. All right, fellas, when she's at her horniest. I forgot what the stage is called. I think it's called ovulating or something like that, G. But because I don't really get into women's biology and physiology, I don't really get into that. I'm more focused on the guys. But for the sake of the topic, there's this week or a few days before a woman starts a period that she's at her horniest. Okay, guys, this is a primal thing. She's trying to mate with a man to have a damn baby. All right, guys. Now, not literally in modern days. Obviously, women are not walking around a week before their period trying to have babies with men, but this is a natural thing. So this is when women are their horniest. This is when women go look to have sex that week before their period. Whether they're in a relationship with one man or whether they, having sex with a bunch of dudes, they're still looking to have intercourse that week. And during that week, their senses go up. Okay, their hormones are raging, their senses go up, and they like automatically get attracted to a man with high testosterone. That's just how it is. Okay, guys, men with high testosterone get more looks from women, get more attraction from women, get more choosing signals from women because of these things that I'm going to explain to you today. All right, fellas, let's get it, man. Let's give people in the chat some shout outs, man. Shout out to Simply Deep. Shout out to Ayo Marco. All right, fellas. Yeah, that's when she's the most fertile. All right, guys, that week before her period, that's when she's the most fertile. So during that week, her hormones are going crazy, G. All right, she's horny as hell that week, and she's looking for a alpha male to procreate with. Now, like I said, not necessarily, I mean, if a woman doesn't want to have a baby, and just because she's ovulating and she's fertile, that don't mean she's gonna just go out and have a baby, but she's gonna want to have sex. Okay, she's gonna get horny. That's the natural biological reaction to ovulation. All right, fellas. So why would she? I mean, who do you think she wants to procreate with, or who do you think she would rather have sex with? A man with higher testosterone. Because if she has sex with a man with higher testosterone, it's gonna better the chances of if she does get pregnant. All right, fellas, if she does get pregnant, the baby is gonna have better genetics. The baby is gonna be fathered by a more alpha capable male versus a man with lower testosterone, all right, fellas, who's not going to be a better father and protector and provider for the baby. Now, in reality, the guy with lower testosterone may be a better protector. He may be a better father. He may be more capable than a guy with higher testosterone in reality. But in reality, when it comes to nature, that's not what the woman is thinking. She is basing things off of a primal, natural level. All right, fellas, in most cases, when it comes to sex. All right, now when it comes to like, you know, economical things, buying houses, taking care of families and things like that. Yes, women obviously think more logical. You know what I mean? And they make decisions more on a ground level. But when it comes to sex, okay, guys, this is what the live stream is about today. When it comes to sex, women prefer to have sex with an alpha male, with a man with high testosterone. And the reason why I use the term alpha male is because there's a hierarchy in this. Men with higher testosterone usually get the top of the food chain when it comes to women. Okay, guys, it is what it is in all demographics. Okay, guys, in all scenarios. All right, fellas. Now, one of the physical traits, guys, one of the physical traits of a man with high testosterone, and this is really going to explain to you guys why women love men with high testosterone so much and why women get turned on by men with high testosterone. All right, fellas, this is something that you can look at a man and tell and see signs that he does have high testosterone. One of the things that I've made a video recently about and a quick sign of high testosterone, guys, is muscle mass and V taper. All right, fellas, muscle mass and V taper. When you have higher testosterone, it's going to be easy for you or easier for you, a lot simpler for you to gain muscle mass. All right, guys. There's a certain way your body is going to start to structure when you have high testosterone. You're going to develop more of a V taper versus more of a square body. Okay, guys. When women have high estrogen, women who have higher signs of estrogen usually will have that hourglass shape. Okay, guys, that's what estrogen does to a woman's body. It gives them that hourglass shape. Small waist, wider hips, the 20, the 38, 24, 32 measurements, whatever they are. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, fellas. But when it comes to men, our hormone is testosterone. So it's going to give us more of that V taper. wide shoulders, slim waist. All right, big back, big shoulders, broad shoulders, big chest, big arms, slim waist. That's what testosterone does. And this is sexy to women. You got to admit, G, you ask any woman what body she would prefer, whether she wants it lean, whether she likes it bulky. All right, guys, women love the V taper. They love the V taper. All right, fellas. I mean, like I told you guys before, one of the compliments that I get a lot on my physique is my back and my shoulders. Okay, guys, and that's the thing that brings out my V taper. All right, guys, on the video that I did on how to build a V taper and why it's so important, you don't have to naturally have a slim waist to have a V taper. Your shoulders just have to be wider than your waist. All right, fellas, and women love this. And to be honest, guys, a slim waist is attractive in both genders. Like men love women with slim waist, women love men with slim waist. All right, women don't love the dad bod. All right, I keep telling you that you guys this over and over and over and over and over again. Women do not like the dad bod. Whatever woman told you, whatever woman lied to you and told you that she likes the dad bod, trust me, she probably just wants your money. She just wants to make you feel good, whatever the case may be. All right, fellas. If anybody in the chat thinks women like dad bods, y'all let me know. All right, fellas, because this is one of the myths that I'm really trying to debunk. Because I had a conversation with a guy at Walmart the other day. I was going to get some tape, some wrapping tape for some packages. And a guy, he approached me, complimented my physique, asked me a couple questions about nutrition and exercise, like most men do when they meet me. But then he went on to talk about how his wife is okay with the fact that he, got out of shape and gain weight and things like that. I'm like, gee, I'm thinking in my head, I didn't want to tell him, I didn't want to be rude. I didn't even know the guy. We were just having a nice, friendly conversation. But I wanted to tell him, I wanted to be like, gee, your wife don't like that, bro. I just want you to know she don't like that, G. All right. If your wife was standing here with us, she would probably tell you, well, she probably wouldn't admit to you, but she would be thinking she would prefer you be back in the shape you were 20 years ago. All right, fellas, to be honest with you. So women don't like that. If a woman is in love with you, you know what I mean? She head over heels for you. Y'all got history. Of course, if you get out of shape, she not gonna leave you, especially if you getting older. Of course not, man. The love is there. But ultimately, the sexual attention ain't really gonna be there a lot. And if it's there, it would be way higher if you were in shape. All right, fellas. So this is why having high testosterone is so important, because when you have high testosterone, it's easier for you to build muscle. Okay, guys, which will result into you getting more attraction from women. All right, pretty much body gain. All right, fellas, it's easy, way easier to get body gain and develop a great physique when you have high testosterone. All right, fellas. When I used to be a trainer, I used to tell men all the time, bro, all the time, and it never failed to be true. Most of the reason why it's hard for many men to build muscle and to keep muscle is because their testosterone is not high enough. All right, fellas, I am telling you this 100%. All right, 100%. The reason why, and I'm going to say this again, I need to get a soundboard so I can do my little rewind noise, G. All right. I got more equipment coming, man. All right. I'm actually building a studio right now at the crib, G, for the live streams. But like I said, the reason why a lot of guys cannot build muscle and have trouble building and keeping on muscle is because your testosterone is not high enough. All right, fellas, it may have to do with your age. It may have to do with the fact that you're not taking care of your body. Whatever the case may be, you have to get your testosterone up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, guys, your life will be 10 times better with higher testosterone. This is a topic or a subject or a focal point that you should be paying attention to frequently. Frequently, periodically, you should be touching base on getting your blood levels checked. You should be touching base on paying attention to the symptoms that you have according to your hormones. All right, fellas. So if you're noticing a decrease in strength, if you're noticing that over time in the gym, it's harder for you to lift a certain weight you used to be able to lift, if you notice decreases in energy and signs of fatigue, if you notice, signs of, sex drive going down, which I talk about, I'm gonna touch base on in a second. If you notice these things, get this shit checked, G. Get it checked. I guarantee you, bro, you will have better outcomes in life with understanding and knowing where your testosterone levels are at. All right. It's the same shit from when women go to the OBGYN and they go get their box checked. All right, fellas, you need to get your shit checked too. All right, guys, straight up. This is something that men don't pay attention to, fellas, and we're not actually taught to pay attention to this stuff. All right, I mean, when in high school or even college or when you were a kid, that your dad or your uncle or your, any male figures in your life sit you down and say, son, you need to take care of your testosterone. Nobody does this. All right, but it's one of the biggest things that have that has the largest impact on men's lives and their livelihood and the quality of life. All right, fellas. So other than the V taper, all right, moving on. Other than the V taper, another physical sign that you'll notice if you have high testosterone or when your testosterone starts to go up is jawline. All right, facial features. All right, guys. If you notice, the men who have higher testosterone levels usually have more structured jawlines and facial features. All right, guys. Now, this is really going to determine on the man and on genetics and on like natural facial features and how your body's structured. But in most cases, all right, guys. But in most cases, you'll notice guys with higher testosterone have stronger jawlines. All right, fellas. Another thing is deeper voice. All right, fellas. And this is why when, young kids, when they go through puberty, their voice starts to crack and it gets deeper because they're getting more testosterone. Their testosterone is starting to peak. All right, guys. This is why kids, young kids, teenagers who go through puberty, their voice get deeper. All right, guys, because they're going through puberty. Testosterone is starting to take over their body. All right, fellas. So the reason why having a deep voice, I mean, we obviously know one of the best ways to turn on a woman, and get a woman wet is to talk to her. All right, guys, to talk to her. So when you have a deeper voice, there's a certain way what you say conveys to her versus if you have like a higher pitch voice. All right, guys. Obviously, having a deeper voice is more masculine. All right, guys. It's signs of maturity. It's signs of just you being a man. All right, fellas. I mean, if you like go talk in a girl's ear, go whisper in her ear, or say something to her in a nice, smooth voice, and you got a high pitched voice like this, it's not really gonna turn her on, G. But if your voice is, deeper, all right, guys, with more of a masculine tone, you're gonna turn her on a lot more. All right, guys. So, like I said, I see a few guys asking, what are some things to eat? All right, fellas. A few of those things are in the natural testosterone booster that I have in the bio. Okay, guys. Now, I see somebody in the chat, Pharaoh Slim. He's saying get your blood right first. A lot of people try to use what's working for another man. It may not work for you like that. Eat right for your blood type and your body first. That is true. Okay, there is some truth to that. All right. Shout out to Pharaoh Slim. That is some truth to that. And the truth to that is genetically, okay, because of your genetics, they may be some things like when you're trying to lose weight. Okay, guys, there are some things that I can eat that would help me lose weight that if you eat, it will actually stop you from losing weight. Okay, guys, it's like the common thing when there are guys who they have really fast metabolism, so they can kind of eat what they want. They can eat a whole box of pizza and not gain a pound. But then there are some guys who can eat one slice of pizza and gain 20 pounds. The difference between those guys is genetics. Okay, guys, genetics. So just like my guy Pharaoh Slim said, based on your genetics is going to determine what you can and what you can't eat. But there are some general things that work pretty much for everybody. Like at the end of the day, we're all human. And at the end of the day, most things that we eat, especially the natural things, will pretty much have the same effect on everybody's body. It's like when everybody drinks water, you're going to be hydrated. Simple as that. If everybody doesn't drink water, 100% of people will be dehydrated. Okay, guys. So there are certain things like sugar. If 100% of men put sugar in their body, 100% of men are going to get a negative response from overeating sugar or eating excessive amounts of sugar. All right. If all 100% of men get rid of sugar and stop eating sugar, all 100% of men will be healthier, have better results. Okay, guys, so there are some general themes. Yes, some guys may benefit more from eating red meat than white meat, chicken. You know, some guys may benefit more from eating potatoes versus rice. It really depends. Okay, guys, but there are some general things, and that's why I made the free test guide. Is because in that guide, there are general things. Those are really practical, easy, common sense things that you don't need to go to the doctor for. Now, guys, you know I always recommend go get your blood levels checked. That's the first thing I always tell you guys. I am not a doctor nor a physician, but I have some great information for you. But go get your blood levels checked. Now, when you go get your blood level checked, one thing you want to keep in mind is you want to pay attention to the symptoms, not the diagnosis. The diagnosis is one thing. So if you go get your blood levels checked and the doctor tells you, hey, you have low testosterone or you have high testosterone, if they tell you you have low testosterone levels, all right, guys, and you feel like you have low testosterone levels, you need to listen and you need to get whatever type of treatment, advice, plan, program, whatever they put you on. Okay, guys, you need to do what they say. But if you go and they tell you you have low testosterone levels, okay, guys, but really you feel like you have high testosterone levels, I don't recommend you just jumping on TRT. All right, fellas, when you go to the physician, most times they want to put you on TRT, especially if you're an older guy. All right, fellas, because they make money from it, obviously. All right, fellas, so you need to pay attention to the symptoms. If you have every great symptom of having high testosterone, sex drive is high, muscle mass, deep voice, high energy, all this stuff, positive aggression, all this stuff, but they're still telling you it's low, still consider what they're saying, but pay attention to the actual symptoms. Okay, guys, pay attention to the symptoms. Shout out to my boy in the home, in the chat. Does the doctor tell you the exact measurement of testosterone or where it is on the scale? Yeah, just like I was explaining. So they're going to tell you where your levels are exactly at 100%. Okay, guys, it's going to be like this little scale, all right, and numbers. And they're going to show you exactly where your testosterone levels are at. And not just the testosterone levels, but your nutrients as well. Your different vitamins you have in your body, whether you're lacking vitamin D, vitamin C, A, B, B12, whatever. All right, guys, because all of these things play a part in your testosterone. All right, fellas, it's a multifaceted thing. So they will tell you all these things. All right, guys. Now, I will be honest with you. If you're under the age of 25, still go get your blood levels checked. But I mean, you can get this done naturally, G. Naturally. All right, guys. Just start hitting the gym. Do the things that I put in the testosterone booster guide. Make sure you're eating clean, drinking water, getting sleep. All right, fellas, staying away from toxins, all these things. Anything that's bad for your body will 100% lower your testosterone. All right, fellas, anything practical that you can think of that's bad for your body, alcohol. All right, guys, drugs, lack of sleep, all right, guys. Excessive uh, amounts of anything. Okay, guys. This will definitely lower your testosterone. All right, fellas. All right. Who had a quick question? I saw a quick question. Elijah, what's up, G? What's happening, bro? Quick question. I just got a chest strain. Any tips for recovery? Um, I'm not a physical therapist, G, but I'm gonna tell you, just rest your chest, man. You know, I've had over the past 13, 14 years I've been lifting weights, G. I've had many strains, bro. I got one common one that I get right in the inside of my shoulder, bro. I get it like twice a month. So I just take a few days off, just completely rest that muscle. Do legs and abs for the next 2 days. And arms, stay away from your chest, stay away from anything that's gonna contract or pull on your chest. And yeah, pretty much. All right. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. All right, next thing that high testosterone is going to do, fellas, like I said, is going to increase confidence and assertiveness. All right, guys, confidence and assertiveness. All right, guys. Usually, guys with high testosterone are very, I don't want to say impulsive, but they're more likely to take risk. All right, fellas, and this is going to definitely help you out with women. All right, guys. Confidence. Approaching women. All right, fellas. When you have higher testosterone, it's gonna bring you and give you more confidence. Therefore, you're gonna be less likely to be scared with approaching women. All right, fellas. And this is what women want. When a woman is giving you choosing signals, bro. All right, wherever it's at, whether it's at the gym, wherever it's at, G. When a woman is giving you choosing signals and she's moving her hair in front of you, winking, blinking her eyes real fast. You know how women do their eyelashes, the little butterfly thing, whatever they do, G. However, whatever choosing signal she's giving you, whether she keeps passing you up, getting in your vicinity, coming up to you, asking you dumb questions, trying to make herself seen, whatever it is, G. Whatever it is. All right, fellas. What is she doing? She's asking you to come talk to her. All right, fellas, she's asking you to come talk to her. Most men are not going to go talk to her because most men, I'm not saying it's your testosterone that's stopping you from talking to her, but if you have high testosterone, the more likely you're not going to be afraid to go up and go approach her. All right, guys, you're willing to go take that risk of being rejected. That's another trait of having high testosterone is not being afraid of rejection. All right, guys, not being afraid of rejection. There's this common myth about high testosterone that says men with high testosterone are aggressive. You know what I mean? And they lose their temper quick and things like that. It's not that men are aggressive and they lose their temper quick. Any man that you see that either his testosterone goes up naturally or he does it artificially through gear and steroids. Any guy that does that and he starts to get overly aggressive, that dude was overly aggressive before he got on testosterone. G. All right, that's what it is. All right, fellas, because when just because you have high testosterone, that doesn't mean it's gonna make you crazy, but it will make you more of a risk taker. It will make you a little bit more impulsive. All right, guys, and more of like a forward thinker. You're not gonna be scared of a lot of things. All right, you're definitely not gonna be scared of approaching women. All right, fellas. And this is why women, on a primitive level, want men or more attracted men with high testosterone because they're usually braver. All right, guys. So if she knows you're not afraid to approach her when she's giving you choosing signals, which is very simple, you're definitely not going to be afraid to go, rush up on an attacker who's trying to, do something bad to her or protect her when somebody's trying to bust in the house at night. You know what I mean? Or fight somebody off for her. You're not going to be afraid of that. You're not going to be afraid of protecting her survival. All right, guys. If you're at least willing enough to go walk up to her. All right, fellas. So, this is another thing what you guys got to understand, G. The reason why shy men, I talk about this all the time, the reason why shy men turn women off so bad is not just the fact that you're shy. It's the fact that you're showing her that you're afraid, that you're like, you know what I mean? That you're not a confident man, that you're not sure of yourself, that you let a little bit of your woman scare you off. Just imagine what's going to happen when there's a real threat. This is how women primitively think. All right, fellas. So I'm telling you guys, if you see a woman, and this is gonna raise your testosterone, okay, guys? Doing things that you're afraid of. This is naturally one of the things that's gonna raise your testosterone. Constantly, consistently doing things that you're afraid of. So if you see a woman, all right, fellas, I'm gonna tell y'all this tip on confidence. If you see a woman and even though you are afraid to approach her, I am not telling you to not be afraid to approach her. All right. I am not saying that. I have a little vulnerable moment with you guys. Every time I approach a woman or before I approach a woman, sometimes I'm scared, G. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not scared, like trembling, like, oh my God, she's gonna bite me. It ain't like that, G. I'm scared, like, damn, I ain't trying to get rejected in front of all these people. G. You feel me? Like I'm really not trying to walk all the way up to this chick. Everybody watch me. I get rejected. G. I ain't trying to do that. All right. To be honest with you, I'm not trying to get rejected. So it's a little fear behind it. All right. But I know that fear is just me like submitting to that fear is just going to make me weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker, bro. All right. And you keep getting hits on your confidence like that, bro. That will drop your testosterone, fellas. All right, guys, you gotta do things that make you feel good. You gotta do things that make you win. All right, guys, you gotta do things that make your body feels good and get your endorphins going. All right, because if you continue to do things like be scared and not approach a woman because you scared, if you keep stacking those losses, G, your confidence is not going to be high. It's going to be very low because every time you go to approach a woman or you think about approaching a woman, you just going to remember all those times you cowered out and you backed out on it. All right, fellas. So the next time, all right, guys, we're going to do a challenge. All right, fellas. Next week, next Saturday on the next live stream, for everybody who's watching who want to taste this challenge, I want you to come back to the next stream next week and let me know what the results of the challenge was. All right, fellas, this is the challenge, especially for all you introverts. All right, guys. Ah, this is the challenge. All right, fellas. The next time you see a beautiful woman, all right, fellas, the next time you see a beautiful woman, G, just go walk up to her and say hi, G. All right, just go walk up to her. Just go walk up to her, say hi, introduce yourself, and let her know you think she's beautiful. All right, fellas, and whatever else comes after that, G, it really don't matter. But you got to get over your fear of approaching women. And I'm not telling you this just so you can walk around doing pickup game trying to approach a bunch of women. But this is gonna get your confidence up, bro. One of the ways that I got confident, like I'm not scared to talk to any woman, G, at this point. Any woman. I can walk up to any woman and have any conversation I want and talk about anything and not even care if she reject me. I just don't care. My skin is that tough now. And the reason why and the way I got up to that point is because I had to train myself to say anything that I feel scared of doing is probably something I need to do. All right, fellas, let me run that back. Anything that I have a fear of doing, anything that I approach and I say, I don't want to do this, or this is too risky, or I don't know if I'm gonna make it out of this. That's probably something I need to do. All right, guys, because that's just gonna get my confidence up another level. Okay, guys, you gotta stack wins. I say this all the time. If you want confidence, you have to stack wins. You have to stack wins. You have to do things that you don't want to do, that you know is hard, that you know most men won't do. And that's what's going to get your confidence up. All right, guys. So that's just a little thing on confidence. But I want you guys to try this challenge out, man. The next beautiful woman you see, usually it's probably going to be at the gym or at work or something like that. But the next beautiful woman you see, go up there and approach her, bro. And you don't have to be too concerned about the result or the outcome. Don't be and that's why a lot of guys don't want to approach women. They're too concerned about the result or the outcome. They're too concerned about being told no or being rejected or not getting a number. Gee, do it for sport. If you're not good at approaching or talking to women, do it for sport at this point. Just go do it for fun. Get your stripes in. Get rejected a few times. And bro, I'm gonna be honest. If you treat this shit like a game, it really becomes a game. It really becomes a game. All right. But anyway, all right, guys. But anyway, all right. Somebody had a question about nutrition, asking me, can I make a video? Who was it? Can you make a video on what you eat for your diet on a daily basis? So, who is that? Uh, who is that? And the reason why I'm stopping at that question because I saw him pop up in the chat a few times. What else? This guy isn't answering my question. Gee, you're not the only person in the chat, G. I can't answer every single question, but I'll tell you this. I will be answering that this Tuesday. All right. This Tuesday, I have a members only live stream where I'll be going through the things that I eat every day, all day. All right. Down to uh the calories, bro. And I don't really count my calories now because I've got to a point to where I can kind of eyeball my food. Dude, when you've been a bodybuilder and you've been meal prepping for years, you can kind of eyeball a steak, or eyeball a chicken breast and tell how much it weighs and obviously how many calories it have. So I mean, I wouldn't know the exact amount of calories. Like I wouldn't know if a piece of steak is 542 calories versus 546, but I know it's around 550, so I don't really count my calories, but I will be having a members only live stream. You guys make sure you join the channel. What's my channel fee? $4.99, $4.99 a month. All right, guys, to join the channel. It's like 60 cents a day. All right, fellas. And inside the membership, mainly we're going to be focusing on body game. All right, fellas, body game, attracting women, and body language. All right, fellas, those are going to be things we're going to be focusing more on. Simply because, I mean, bro, I'm telling you, G, that's the foundation of everything. All right, guys, body game is the foundation of life. So this Tuesday, this Tuesday, we're going to be focusing on nutrition and meal prepping. All right, guys, that's members only live stream. All right, fellas, members only live stream. So y'all make sure you join the channel. All right, you're gonna get the members only badge. Like who in the chat? Let's see if any members in the chat. Like my boy in the home, get the members only badge, and you're gonna have access to live videos, live streams, and yeah, baby. So we're gonna take care of that on Tuesday. All right, fellas, we're gonna take care of that on Tuesday. Let's get it. All right, Nahome E. Nahome E had a question. I'm getting stronger and adding pounds to my lifts, but my body doesn't seem to recomp. Does that imply possible low testosterone? Now, when you say recomp, I'm assuming you mean recover. You know, is that what you mean? If you mean recover, yes, that can be a sign. You know, that can be a sign of low testosterone. Cause like I said, man, I know guys, when I used to be a trainer, bro, this used to be like the biggest culprit with my clients. The biggest culprit. All right, fellas. Um, is low testosterone, guys. And most of my clients, well, I want to say 50% of my clients were women who wanted to lose weight, like moms and things like that, middle-aged women. And the other 50% was men between the ages of 25 and 48, 25 and 50, pretty much. All right, guys. And okay, gaining muscle, losing fat, basically getting results, pretty much. Yeah. So most of these guys, bro, the main reason why they were either not losing weight, meaning not burning body fat, or not building muscle was simply because they had low testosterone. And I don't care how much work you do, how much work you put in, how many times you hit the gym, how much weight you lift, how much supplements you take. If your testosterone is low, bro, it ain't gonna happen, G. All right. And if it does happen, it's going to be at a very, 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 very slow rate. All right, guys. I was having a conversation with my uncle. All right, fellas. And he was telling me how my great great grandpa, this dude used to be jacked. And he didn't have any supplements, none of the supplements we use today, G. None of the upgraded equipment we use today, G. None of that. But the difference between men in his time, which was probably about 150 years ago, from the men in our time, bro, is the men in their time, their testosterone was much higher, G. Much higher, G. Significantly higher. All right, fellas. So they didn't need half the stuff we need to actually put on muscle. So that's a reason why a lot of guys today are not seeing results or consistent results in the gym is because of low testosterone. All right, fellas. And I'm gonna be honest, if you're a young guy, most of the reason why your testosterone is low is because of the things that you're doing every day. All right, fellas, the things that you're putting in your body, the things that you're putting on your body. All right, fellas, there's so much. All right, guys, so much to the reason why a lot of guys have low testosterone. I talked about EMF, you know, electromagnetic fields. That's another reason why a lot of guys have low testosterone. One of the things I recommend, if you work with a laptop, G, do not put your laptop on your lap. I know it's called a laptop, G. I know it's called a laptop, but do not put your laptop on your lap. All right, guys. And if you do, I recommend you go get an EMF blocker, an electromagnetic field blocker that will block the electromagnetism that comes from the laptop. Those are things that is lowering your testosterone. Then you got it right on your nuts. All right, fellas. I am telling you. Another thing, keep your cell phone and your laptop out of your bed when you're sleeping. All right, fellas. You should be keeping your cell phone away from your body, as far as away from your actual contact with your body as possible, but keep it out your bed. All right, fellas, when you're sleeping, put it on the floor, put it on your nightstand, but keep it out your bed. This is another thing that's dropping your testosterone. If you don't believe me, go do your research. All right, fellas. There are so many things in the modern world that are killing men's testosterone, and men have no idea. No idea. All right, fellas, no idea. Plastic bottles. Another thing, when y'all see me, you know I drink water on almost all my live streams out this bottle right here. I rarely drink out of plastic bottles, and the reason why is because of BPA. Most plastic bottles are made with BPA, and that's something that's significantly dropping guys' testosterone. All right, fellas, if you don't believe me, go look this stuff up. These are things that men don't even know, G. They don't even know. This is why I always recommend you get inside men's groups. You get inside of groups with men who want to be the best version of yourself, of themselves. Because if you don't, these are things. This is information that you will never come across. This is information that the mainstream media is not going to tell you. Why? It's not that they don't care. They just don't want you to have high testosterone. They want you to be weak, G. So I'm telling you the truth. All right, fellas, keep it real. Keep it real, my guy. Keep it real. All right. Yeah, so that's probably why you're not getting the results you want. Okay? It's probably why you're not getting the results you want, to be honest with you. All right? Does high testosterone make you more competitive? 100%. 100%. All right? I've said this before and I'll say it again. When you get your testosterone up, you're going to make more money. All right, fellas, you're going to make more money. You're going to be more ambitious. You're going to be more of a risk taker. You're going to have more energy. Therefore, you will be more competitive. All right, fellas. So if you making money as you at your job has anything to do with competition, which more than likely it does, whether that's you getting promoted, you making more sales, you getting more customers, whatever it is. All right, you having high testosterone is definitely going to help you out. All right, fellas. Now, another reason why women are attracted to men with higher testosterone is sexual energy and sex drive, fellas. All right. Men with higher testosterone usually have higher libido. All right, fellas, if you don't know what libido is, it's basically your ability to maintain sexual tension in your body. All right, fellas, that's the best way, the most sensor way I can say that. All right, guys. And really, bro, I mean, it's just all sexual energy, bro. All right, guys. To make this simple, high testosterone is going to give you more sexual energy. All right, fellas. It's going to help you last longer in the bed. All right, fellas. And I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you one key way to know if your testosterone is not high enough. And this is definitely going to relate to sexual energy and sex drive. But one key way to know if your testosterone is not high enough is if you do or you don't have morning wood. All right, fellas. For all you young guys, if you don't know what morning wood is, I don't know what y'all call it these days. All right, but we call it morning wood. And if you don't know what morning wood is, it's basically when your body wakes you up at about 6 in the morning. All right, guys, and your little Johnson is standing up like this. All right, fellas, and you probably don't even know why you're feeling like this. Usually if you're in a bed with a woman, she's gonna be surprised too. Most women don't understand why men are like this. Most men don't understand why men are like this. All right, fellas, but it is a natural sign. It is a natural sign of high testosterone. You'll notice this happening more when you were a child. All right, guys, when your hormones were raging like lightning. All right, fellas, and every morning, like I remember when I used to be in school, G, I'm gonna be honest. When I was like, I think I was like in the sixth grade, bro. All right, G, and I used to be in class. I used to be in class, and bro, I used to get hard like out of nowhere in class, bro. And I used to be afraid to stand up. I mean, I think every man has went through this at some point in his childhood, you know. And I used to be scared to get up. Gee, I didn't want nobody to see me, bro. But that's how it was when you were a kid. You were just horny all of the time. All right, all of the time. And that's how it is. So if you find this decreasing as you get older, all right, and as you get older, the less horny you are, the less sexual passion or drive or energy you have, it's probably because your testosterone is dropping. All right, fellas. More times than not, your testosterone's dropping. All right, fellas. So that's a good sign to go get that stuff checked out. All right, fellas. But sexual energy and sexual drive, libido is a big deal for men. One of the most common complaints and problems that men have today is erectile dysfunction. All right, fellas, erectile dysfunction. The reason why a lot of guys have erectile dysfunction these days is because of low testosterone levels. All right, low testosterone levels are across the board in every demographic, every society, every country now. All right, fellas. So this is a big deal. This is why this is a topic that I will constantly be on for you guys and make sure that you take care of these things. Because just like I said, this is only gonna bring you better results in life. All right, fellas. All right, let's get on to the chat. I think I need to get more sleep. Everybody need to get more sleep, man. He had a top tier wood during class. Ha ha ha. That was funny. That was funny, G. Man, I almost kicked you off the chat, G, but that was kind of funny. I ain't gonna lie. That was funny, man. All right, fellas. So we gonna take a quick break for Q&A. All right, guys, we're gonna get into. I got a few more points on why women love high testosterone so much, but we're gonna take a quick break for a few questions. All right, guys. Obviously, super chats get priority answers to the question. Obviously, fellas, members as well get priority answers to the question. But I'm gonna get through a few questions right now. He said top tier wood. That was funny, G. I'm not gonna lie. Like I usually would kick you off the chat for saying something like that, but that was funny. All right, that was funny. All right. Somebody asked me what's my zodiac sign. I don't do zodiacs, man. I'm a grown man, G. You know, I don't I don't even know what the zodiac signs are anymore, my dog. To be honest with you, man, and I don't even think that's important in a man's live stream chat right now, G. I mean, if you're looking for a chick, you might want to go hop in another chat. And you can go find out zodiac signs and horoscopes and star signs and everything, bro. But yeah. All right, GBE baby, got a question. What's your opinion on weed? Do you still smoke weed? And if not, what's your thoughts on it? And does it affect T levels? What's your opinion on weed? Man, if you try to find out if you should stop, you asked that about 5 times, G. If you trying to find out if you start smoking weed, you just stop smoking, bro. Be honest with you, dog. But as far as T levels, yeah and no. And no, yeah and no. No, because I say no. The reason why I say no is because I haven't found any scientific data that backs it, that it says it does affect your T levels. So I can't tell you that it does. Now I will tell you that smoking weed is not going to give you the energy. Obviously, that's one of the benefits of having high testosterone, but it's not going to bring you energy, But I'm gonna be honest. I ain't gonna lie to you, G. Y'all know me. I'm gonna keep it real with you. If I don't know, I'm gonna tell you I don't know. If I do know, I'm gonna tell you I do know. I'm gonna tell you what it is. So I haven't really researched to see if testosterone is affected by marijuana. But since we are on the topic, fellas, let's find out. All right, since we are on the topic, and I got a handy dandy reliable source. So yeah, so I mean, it's just what I thought. Evidence is mixed. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, based on what I'm seeing, if you smoke, there will be a short term drop in your testosterone. I mean, weed. I don't mean tobacco and cigarettes and stuff. Don't do that. That's bad. But I mean, it's your prerogative, bro. Whatever you want to do, I'm just telling you. If that's what you want to do, I mean, we'll have a short term effect, which I kind of guess that's common sense. It may have a short term effect, but long term, not really. There's no really scientific data to back it. But I mean, just stay away from it, bro. I always tell anybody, G, if you have to ask, is it good or is it bad for you? More times than not, it's bad for you. Now, if you want to know on how to use it or how it would work, that's a whole different story. But if you gotta ask, should I stop doing this or is this bad for me? Usually it's bad. You know what I mean? Usually it's bad. Like nobody asks, should I eat fruit? Is fruit good for me? It's obvious that it's good for you. People usually ask, should I stop doing this or is this bad when they know it's something bad, but they're trying to weigh the pros and the cons on whether or not they should quit. We all know that, G. Y'all know me. I'm gonna keep it real, bro. So on your testosterone, I will go really good, get into some research. Um, it's probably something I'll get into later, but you know, maybe not. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to encourage you guys to smoke weed, so I really don't care what effect it has on it. But I mean, obviously, you know, from what I'm seeing right now, it has some effect on it. All right, fellas. Now, another thing, guys, about testosterone and how it's going to turn women on, guys, is body language. All right, fellas, body language. Like I said, men with higher testosterone levels usually have a stronger presence. All right, they usually stand up taller. Excuse me, man. They usually stand up taller. Man, whew. They usually stand up taller, broader shoulders, bigger chest, more masculine posture. All right, fellas, more masculine posture. And I always tell you guys, all right, your body is your status symbol. All right, not just the shape and physical shape that your body's in and how much muscle you have, but also how you carry yourself, your body language. All right, fellas. If you guys pay attention to the things that I discuss and I talk to you guys about on this channel, these are all things to help you become a better, more masculine, more attractive man. All right, fellas, your body language, eye contact, your testosterone. All right, fellas, how you carry yourself, your wardrobe, your appearance, your hygiene. All of these things matter. All right. All of these things matter. All right. 100%. They matter 100%. But your body language, okay, guys? When you walk with good posture, all right, and you walk upright, that's obviously a more dominant presence, okay, guys? And this is very attractive to women. I'm telling you guys, you walking around slouching, a lot of guys slouch and they walk like this is because their testosterone levels are low and they don't have energy. All right, fellas. But when you have energy, you're not gonna walk like this, G. You're gonna walk upright. All right, you're gonna walk with your chest big, shoulders back. All right, fellas. Like that's a big deal, man. It's a big deal because when a woman sees you from across the room and she's checking you out, she's not just paying attention to your body game and your shoes and all this stuff. She is paying attention to subtle keys, subtle cues, subtle movements. All right, guys, like how you walk, like how you stand, like how quick you're turning your head looking around. These small masculine cues can make or break the attraction between you and a woman. All right, fellas, 100%, guys, 100%. So, I mean, everything about a man, guys, everything about a man, from how you walk, how you stand, the bass in your voice, how your face is structured, how your body is structured, how you interact with people. All of these things your testosterone has an influence on. All of them. Okay, guys. Almost everything about a man has to do with your testosterone. This is why it's such a big deal. Okay, guys, this is not something that you want to play with. This is not something that you can make it through a full life without running into at some point. If you don't take care of it now, I guarantee you 100% when you get in your 40s, maybe late 30s even, but when you get in your 40s and your 50s, this shit gonna come back up. It will come back up. It is inevitable. All right, guys, because you're gonna be 45 years old in the bed with your wife and you ain't gonna be able to get your dick up and you're gonna be mad. And then you're gonna remember this live stream and you'll be like, damn, KD did tell me I need to go get my test levels checked. It's 20 years later, G, and my dick won't even get up. All right, fellas. I'm telling you, bro, if you having problems in the bed, all right, if you having problems in the bed, staying hard or keeping the sexual energy up, it probably has a lot to do with your testosterone, bro. All right, guys. Now I'm gonna be honest. Some guys have sexualized their mind and desensitized their mind so much that they can't even look at a woman and get turned on anymore because I mean their mind is just cooked. You know what I mean? Like they done looked at so many naked women online, they can't even get attracted to a real woman in real life. That's totally different. That has less to do with testosterone and more about your mindset. But if you are having trouble, all right, staying, maintaining an erection with a woman, G, get your testosterone levels checked. I guarantee you that may be the culprit. All right, fellas, that may be the problem. All right, guys. All right. I hope you guys are learning a lot today, man. I really do. I hope you guys are learning a lot today. All right, fellas. Because, I'm going to be honest. All right. I'm going to be honest about something. I know I talk a lot about women on my channel. I talk about a lot about how to attract women, getting women. But I'm gonna be honest, guys. I get tired of talking about females and all the dumb shit that they doing and women are this and women are masculine. Bro, forget these bitches, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Forget them, dude. Focus on yourself. All right, focus on yourself. If you focus on yourself, the only issue you're gonna be having with women, bro, is getting them away from you and trying to get them to stop chasing you, bro. All right, focus on yourself, G. All right, you guys got to get back to purpose, bro. I just had to say that, man. I'm saying too many guys, y'all getting lost. Y'all getting lost in, women doing this and women doing all this, bro. Shut up. If you ain't got a girl, if you ain't at the point to where having a girlfriend, a different woman makes sense in your life, G, don't need to be worried about women, bro. Focus on you. All right. If you don't know much about testosterone and you don't know how to get your dick hard because you got, ED and stuff, bro, you shouldn't be worried about women, bro. Take care of yourself, G. All right. Get clean, get healthy, get strong. All right. Shout out to the Troop 0492 for higher testosterone power cleans or deadlifts. Both. Let me go ahead and like that. Shout out to the Troop 049 for the super chat. My boy. Dropped a big old 199 in the chat. So yeah, both of them, man. Power cleans and deadlifts. Lower extremity exercises. All right, fellas. I'm gonna give y'all the 4 best exercises for high testosterone. All right, fellas. Power cleans, deadlifts, squats, and squat press or bench press. You could do both, but kind of like get an upper body, movement in. But power cleans, deadlifts, and squats. Those are the main 3, bro. Those are the main 3. When I played ball, all right, I played football. Um, I used to be able. I can still squat a lot, not as much as I used to. Like when I played high school and college ball, I can squat like, bro. My high school senior year, I probably squatted like almost 600 pounds. I think that was my max. You know, it's crazy, bro. Kids at high school football players can squat. That's something I noticed. You know what I mean? Because they do it a lot. They do a lot of explosive movements. But in high school, bro, I can squat a lot. And my strength and conditioning coach used to tell me all the time. He used to talk about testosterone all of the time and how crucial it is and how power cleans, deadlifts, and squats will definitely benefit your testosterone. All right, fellas. So I recommend both. The Troop 049, I recommend both. Both, G, both. All right, 100%. Somebody asked, what about calisthenics? Yeah, calisthenics as well. Now, obviously, you're not going to be pushing a lot of weight, but I mean, what about calisthenics? What are you asking? Does it help with testosterone? I mean, were you trying to get in shape? I always recommend calisthenics. I got 2 calisthenic days a week, you know. So today was a calisthenic day, by the way. I did push-ups, squats, what else I did? Jump squats, dips, pull ups. So today was my calisthenics day. Yeah. So I mean, if you're asking about for testosterone, I don't know what you're asking that for. All right, guys. So, like I said, man, dude, if you are at least 30 years old, and if you haven't gotten your blood levels checked, okay, guys, you haven't gotten your hormones checked, that's another challenge I want you to do. Go get that shit checked, okay, guys. Around 30 years old is a great time. I mean, probably younger than that, but around 30 years old is a great time to go get this stuff done. All right, fellas. So you don't have to worry about this stuff later on in the future. And you're gonna always it's always gonna be a priority. But at least now you know. At least now you know what good levels are based on your body. All right, fellas. Now you know what baselines are, and now you're like you can get used to and this being a regular thing that you do. All right, fellas. Just like I said, just how women go to the OBGYN, that's how much you should be going to get your testosterone levels checked. Just as much. All right, if not more, just as much. Can I just use my body weight to build testosterone? Yes, 100%, bro. 100%. You don't have to be pushing heavy weight. I mean, you pushing heavy weight is going to be better off for you, but just I mean, body weight is good, bro. As long as you're moving, and that's the thing. A lot of guys don't move around anymore. All right, I saw somebody say the reason why testosterone levels are low today because bad diet. Another thing is lack of activity. Guys today don't move around half as much as guys 100 years ago used to, bro. Just think about like back, like I don't want to say caveman days, but think about back when we rode horses, like when we actually had to get out and go hunt and do stuff. Bro, men were moving all day, bro. They were picking up shit, moving around, running, jumping, hiking, doing all this stuff, bro. Now dudes don't even know how to get off the couch, bro. Obviously, there's an obvious reason why testosterone levels are low. If you can't see this, G, this is common sense, bro. This is common sense. This is why I try to be as active as I can. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, when I'm around my house, G, I just moved into a house, and like I just moved from an apartment to a house, and now, bro, I just go around my house just doing things just cause I want to stay active. I hate sitting around. I work from home now, but I hate sitting around, so I just do things. I just built a fire pit in my backyard because I just need to do things, bro. All right. I don't feel good not being active. I think the chat stopped. Let's make sure. All right. I think we back on. Yeah. But like I said, I got to be active. I hate not being active, guys. I hate not being active. I got to do something. All right. I got to do something, you know? All right, I think we good. Y'all let me know if we good. Everybody in the chat, let me know if the visual, the video is good. I had a little technical thing happen, man. Give me a one in the chat if y'all can see me good, if y'all can still hear me good too. All right, fellas. I'm gonna wait for a few people to let me know. I'm not sure if y'all can hear me or not. Give me a few ones in the chat, fellas. If y'all can hear me good, y'all can hear me good. Give me a few ones. All right. I want to make sure everybody can hear good. All right, we got the ones in the chat. We all good, baby. What up, Jay Kemp? I see you, baby. What up, dog? All right, fellas. So, like I said, man, you got to get moving, fellas. You got to get moving. What up, Johnny Kemp? Look, Johnny famous in the chat, man. Everybody saying what's up to Johnny. What's up, Jay Kemp? All right. Yeah, you got to get moving, bro. Like I said, bro, I went the other day. I went and built the whole fire pit in my backyard, bro, out of bricks. I just gotta do stuff, bro. I don't feel good sitting around. I can feel myself getting weaker when I sit around. All right, guys. So this is why there's a big difference between testosterone now and testosterone before. All right, fellas. The lack of activity, also the diet. Now we're eating processed foods now. All right, guys. There's a literal. That's not a study, but it's something that I heard and I read, and I don't know if this is 100% to be true, but pay attention to this, guys. This is a big deal. All right, fellas, pay attention to this. All right. If you take the whole existence of the world. Okay, guys, from when God created the world. So from the day that God said, "Let there be light," all the way up until today, which is September 21st, 2024. All right, guys, if you condense all of this time in history to a 24-hour clock, all right, fellas, a 24-hour clock. I hope you guys are catching on. If I take all of history, all of society, all of the world's time, and I condense it to a 24-hour clock, we have only been eating processed foods for 6 seconds of that 24 hours. Okay, fellas. I want you guys to hear what I said again. All right, fellas. So the next time you're thinking about eating processed foods, I want you to consider what I'm saying. All right, guys. If you take all of existence and condense it into a 24-hour clock, we have only been eating processed foods for 24 hours. I mean, not 24 hours, for 6 seconds of that 24 hours. 6 seconds. All right, guys, that's 6 seconds. All right, fellas. And after that is everything else. So, G, you got to understand, man. Stay away from processed foods. It's the worst thing that's ever happened to society. It is definitely killing your testosterone, guys. You need to stay away from soy. Please stay away from soy, guys. All right, fellas. This is one of the culprits. It's like the other things I mentioned earlier, BPA, EMS. Stay away from all that stuff. All right, fellas. I'm telling you, G. I am telling you 100%. All right. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, fellas. Let's get down to the questions, man. This is my favorite part. All right, guys. So, like I said, recap, guys. Recap on today's stream. All right, fellas. Everything that turns on a woman about a man. All right, guys. Everything that turns on a woman about a man is signs of high testosterone. All right, guys. Signs of high testosterone. A great physique, V taper. All right, guys. Deeper voice, better posture, more ambition, more confidence. Guys, I mean, come on, fellas. The list goes on. All right, guys, the list goes on. So the best thing you can do if you are showing signs of low testosterone, if you are having symptoms, is to go get it fixed. All right, start off naturally first, especially if you're a younger guy. Start off naturally. All right, go follow the free testo guide that I got in the description. Go follow that first. Go grab that. Go down a list. If you can check off all 13 of those things, if you are doing all 13 of those things and your levels are still low, go get them checked. Okay, guys, but I guarantee you, if your levels either are or feel low, there's something in that list that you're not doing. All right, fellas, because you should be able to keep your testosterone high enough naturally, especially if you're not 40 years old yet. All right, fellas. Yes, water. Okay, I mean, bro, this is a given. Water. Okay, guys, this is a given. Staying hydrated. All right, fellas. And I saw somebody mention that water is gonna make you. Who is that? Spiritual tea. Water is gonna make you look fuller, or it's gonna fill your muscles out 100%. 100%. Before I used to compete, in bodybuilding, one of the things that you do to get a drier look, to give you more striations and to make you look leaner is you dehydrate yourself. All right, like so before bodybuilding show, you can't really drink water, G. All right, you can't really drink water because water makes you more fuller. And in a bodybuilding competition on stage, you don't really want to look full. You want to look shredded. I mean, you want to be big, but you want to be shredded. So what we would do is we'll stop drinking water before the competition. All right, guys, just to give that more shredded look, just so you can see your abs more, you can see the striations in your arms and your legs more. That is a big deal. So definitely, yeah. Aside from the health side of hydration, hydration is definitely gonna make you look more fuller. I recommend a gallon about a gallon of water a day. I got tongue tied. A gallon of water a day. This is about 20 ounces. I drink about five of these a day, around a gallon a day. All right, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know how much I'm drinking. G, I don't really keep track, but I know I drink about 5 or 6 a day. All right, fellas. So you guys make sure you are staying hydrated. All right. Make sure you're staying hydrated. All right. Got some questions. So, guys, make sure your questions are related to testosterone or attracting women, but mainly testosterone, fellas. I want to keep it all organized so we don't get off topic for all the other people in the chat. What do you think of some mental benefits of testosterone? Boom. I love it. I love it. All right. One of the things that testosterone is going to do for you mentally, guys, and I'll tell you this as it relates to women, it's going to make you less needy. All right, fellas, because it's going to come from confidence. Men with low testosterone are usually some needy ass men. All right, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. They call them soy boys, whatever you want to call them. But when you have higher testosterone, you're usually less needy. You're usually more independent. Okay, guys, this is a masculine trait, being independent. All right, fellas. So it's just gonna make you more confident. Okay, mindset wise. All right. Another thing is gonna make you more resilient. Okay, you're gonna be less likely to let things affect you emotionally. All right, fellas. I don't know if you guys know anything about estrogen. All right, guys, but that's a female hormone. The more estrogen either a man or woman has, the more likely they are to get emotional in certain situations. In most situations, this is why typical saying you will find that women are more emotional than men and men are more logical and irrational. Testosterone makes you a little bit more calmer when it comes to your emotions, and as a result, you will become more logical and rational. One of the common misconceptions and common myths about testosterone, which I mentioned before, is that testosterone automatically makes you more aggressive. That is not true. Okay, guys. For the guys who raise their testosterone naturally or artificially and they get with all this aggression, is because they naturally had that aggression bottled up inside before they raise their testosterone. All right, guys. Testosterone is not supposed to make you this crazy, over aggressive maniac. All right, fellas, because if you have high testosterone, you have enough confidence in the fact that you don't have to crash out every time something happens. All right, fellas. So that's a big misconception. That's why a lot of older guys who want to get on TRT, they shy away from it because they're like, oh, I don't want to get overly aggressive. My wife doesn't want me to be a real man. Gee, get over it, bro. If it makes you overly aggressive because you were crazy from the jump, G, to be honest with you, you were crazy from the jump. All right, fellas. But yeah, mindset wise, psychological wise, it will make you more resilient. It will make you more confident. It will give you more emotional stability. It will help you handle rejection well. You will build tough skin. All right, another masculine trait, tough skin, being able to handle rejection, not being afraid of rejection. All right, fellas, another benefit. All right, guys. So, good question. I like that question. That's a very, very interesting question. All right. Another question. Got a diet question. What are your thoughts on? What do you think? I'll jump to that one next. What do you think about carnivore diet? I mean, I 100% agree with the carnivore diet. I did that for a while when I was fighting MMA. All I would eat, literally, all I ate all day was I ate eggs and steak in the morning. Midday, I would eat just chicken, a big bowl of chicken breast. And at night, I would eat steak and chicken with a little bit of eggs. Like that was my diet all day for a while, for a few months. And this is why I was fighting. So, and I felt strong, G. I felt strong. The only thing I can tell you, the only downside I had was when I originally started the diet, I had a little bit of fatigue. Just a little bit of fatigue because I wasn't getting the normal carbs that I was originally getting before I started. So I did have some fatigue, but overall, it took me about a week or two to kind of adjust my body back. But the carnivore diet is great. It's great. I was able to sleep better. I had a lot more energy. At the end of the day, I would be less tired, but I would still be able to fall sound asleep when I did go to sleep. It's just everything, bro. Because when you're not putting all those refined carbohydrates and sugars and all this random stuff in your body, and all you're eating is meat, bro. I'm telling you guys, and especially the guys who talk about, oh, I'm gonna go vegan, I'm gonna go a meatless diet, bro. As a man, I don't know how you can do it, G. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't think men were meant to not eat meat. I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe I gotta do more research on that, G. But I'm gonna be honest, bro. Um, when I don't have enough meat and protein, I can feel a difference. And you should be able to if you pay attention to your body. But if you don't eat enough meat and protein, you will feel a difference. All right. All right. We had another question about testosterone. Does TRT cause you to lose hair? Also, isn't there other medications you need to take with it to remain fertile? So as far as other medications, that's going to depend on you and what your doctor or physician prescribes you based on your tests, like your test levels and all your other hormonal levels. But does it cause you to lose hair? Um, I mean that may be a side effect, but I'll be honest. Loss of hair is a side effect of low testosterone. All right, fellas. So hair growth is actually a sign of high testosterone. So if you get on TRT, you shouldn't have hair problems. That could be genetic. I know most guys start balding in their 30s. All right, most guys, a large percentage of guys start balding in their 30s. So that could be it. So but I don't think that TRT is directly correlated with hair loss because it's actually supposed to reverse that effect. But it really depends on the person, to be honest with you. This is why when it comes to that point, you're asking those questions. You want to go get your levels checked, and you want to go to a good doctor. Like, don't go one of these cheap doctors who's just gonna run a couple tests and just prescribe you something because they're trying to get paid. You need to go to a good doctor, somebody who you trust. So before you go find a doctor, I recommend you go do your research so you don't get fucked pretty much. Excuse my French. Shout out to my boy and the homie. That is true. I have abstained from whole milk and solid protein sources. I was getting enough overall calories and carbs before workouts, but body weight went down and I didn't recover from lifts. Yeah, I feel that, G. All right. I see guys keep mentioning semen retention. You know, yeah, man. This whole, I've spoken about semen retention a lot. I'm not gonna get into it today. That's not the topic of the day, so I won't dabble into semen retention. But hey, man, do your thing, brother. Do your thing. Long as you ain't jerking off to porn, that's all I care about. That is all I care about, G. That's my main concern. Long as you ain't jerking off to porn, G. Do what you gotta do, my brother. I'm with you, bro. All right. How does alcohol affect testosterone? A lot. A lot, G. A lot. Stay away from alcohol. All right. Aside from testosterone. All right, fellas. Because I think some guys, when you tell them alcohol kills your testosterone, I don't think that's enough reason for them to stop drinking alcohol. Alcohol is the worst thing that you can put in your body. All right, fellas. I stopped drinking alcohol about 2 years ago, about a year and a half, 2 years ago. That's the last time I had a drink, and it's one of the best things that I've ever done for myself. I don't even think I can go back to it, not even for social or fun purposes, not even just a little shot. I can't do it. You know what I mean? Because I've done enough of research and enough of studying and enough of observing my own body to know that that is literally one of the worst things you can put in your body. It is literally poison. Okay, fellas, poison. Poison, poison. So why would you want to put poison in your body? Simple as that. People try to conjugate and try to come up with all these reasons how alcohol can be beneficial for you and all this stuff, and if you just have a small little glass of whiskey, that's good for you, bro. I don't care if it is good. All right. If I gotta moderate something down to a small little glass just to make it good for me, and if I do a full glass, it's gonna be bad for me. It's not something I want to partake in. All right. It's not something I want to partake in. If you look in any alcohol bottle, there is a percentage of literal alcohol that it has. Okay, guys. So what you are drinking is the same thing that if you go in your medicine cabinet, if you go get that little clear bottle that says 100% alcohol, you are drinking that. The same thing you use to treat scars and to treat cuts and scrapes and to clean out bacteria out of things. That's the same thing you putting in your body. All right. I saw somebody said it's like ethanol. Yes, it's bro, it's poison. All right, you might as well drink gasoline, like my boy said. All right, literally, you might as well drink gasoline if you're gonna drink alcohol. There's gonna be a few guys who drink. I understand. You probably sitting there like, man, this little dude don't know what he talking about, man. I'm gonna have my drink. Gee, do what you want. I'm just telling you the truth. Okay, one of the reasons why a lot of dudes can't get their dick hard is because they drink too much, or they used to drink too much when they were younger. All right, fellas, I'm being honest with you. I'm being honest with you. All right, guys. My point, the point of what I do is to help you guys have the best results out of life, not to tell you the things you want to hear. And if you want the best results out of life, one thing you have to get rid of is alcohol. Alcohol is never good in any scenario, bro. That's why there's a age limit to it. That's why it's illegal to partake in most places. Bro, I'm everywhere, bro. It's just not good. All right, fellas, it's just not good. And I'm not going to try to, formulate a way in my head where I can make it good or okay or kind of permissible, bro. Just stay away from it. All right, stay away from it. It's addicting, and it does a lot of damage to your body. All right, fellas. So stay away from alcohol, guys. Stay away from the booze. All right, fellas. So, like I said, man, this Tuesday I will be having a members only live stream. All right, fellas. If you're not a member of the channel yet, you can go join. The link is in the description, or you can just go to the channel page, go hit that join button. And this Tuesday, we're going to be talking about nutrition and meal prepping. All right, fellas. All of these questions that you guys asked today, obviously I wasn't able to get to every question because to answer every question is gonna take a few minutes because I want to make sure I give you guys good answers. So because of that, that's why I have the members only live streams. And in the members only live streams, that's just going to be a full hour, hour and a half of me answering every single question one by one, giving you full attention. All right, guys, it's a more exclusive setting. It's a private live stream. All right, fellas. So you're not going to be interrupted, with other random questions, or you're going to make sure that you get your question answered. All right, fellas. So we're going to be talking about nutrition, meal prepping, what I eat every day, what I eat when I'm bulking, what I eat when I'm leaning out in the summer. Obviously, you guys know in the summer I'm more lean, in the winter I'm more bulky, so I'll be talking a lot about that too. I'm gonna be talking about how to get body fat down, talking about foods to keep your testosterone up, just pretty much everything that has to do with nutrition and meal prepping. That's what we're gonna be going over this Tuesday. All right, fellas. And let me make sure is this Tuesday. I believe it's this Tuesday. I got a few live streams scheduled coming up, so I want to make sure this specific one is Tuesday. Let me make sure. Let me make sure. Hey man, y'all heard what happened to Diddy? Damn. Damn. The 24th. What's the 24th? Yeah, Tuesday. All right, guys, this Tuesday, I believe at 1 p.m. All right, fellas. 1 p.m. this Tuesday. All right, we'll be having a members only live stream. All right, the only way you'll get access to the live stream is if you become a member. Just launch the memberships. I will be having members only live streams about once a week, once every week. Members only videos about 3 or 4 times a week. So you're gonna get a lot of content in the members only. All right, you guys all you guys know I put out a lot of content on my page, but you guys gonna get a lot of content in the members only. All right, fellas. But yeah, man. Anyway, we done for the day, man. We could talk. We can talk, man. We can talk about anything y'all want now, man. Y'all heard about Diddy? Jeez, man. Jeez. I don't know if this is true, man, but somebody said he got multiple life sentences, man. Multiple. God, man, that's crazy, bro. How you get multiple life sentences? How you get multiple? Like I was talking to my chick about that. I was like, why they gotta give him multiple? Like he's not gonna come back alive after the first life sentence. Why you gotta give him another one? Like you trying to make sure, like just in case he reincarnate and he come back, y'all making sure that he don't never get out. Like we can't risk it again. I get it. I understand. But dang, man. And to be honest, I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't even know what Diddy did. Gee, y'all know me, G. I'm not into mainstream media. Gee, I don't know what Diddy did. I have no idea. Gee, I stay in my own bubble. I don't watch the news. The most news that I get is because I follow Melanie King's YouTube channel. Shout out to Melanie King. Anybody know who Melanie King is? I follow Melanie King, and I follow Melanie King because she put out some good political news and things like that. But she's been making some crazy content lately, and this whole Diddy thing came up in her content. I never watched the video because I didn't have time to, because I don't really do the whole celebrity news thing. Never did. But I grew up listening to Diddy. If you grew up in the 90s, you grew up listening to Diddy, when Diddy used to rap with, Biggie and everything. But it's just crazy how what the world is coming to, man. Um I never thought we would be seeing stuff like this, man. These celebrities getting these type of scandals and all this stuff, man. It is crazy. But anyway, like I said, I don't follow celebrities. The only reason why I know about this is because it popped up on my feed because I follow Melanie King, and it's just what it is. I don't watch the news at all. I literally get all my news from, certain channels, pretty much. And in my research, there's certain things that. But all this celebrity news, y'all know about this stuff, man. I don't know. Melanie King is hot, bro. Yes, Melanie King is, yeah. Shout out to Melanie King, man. Shout out to Miss King. Somebody said the camera froze. All right, let's check this out. Somebody said the camera froze. Y'all let me know if the camera's back. Y'all let me know if the camera's back on. Give me a one in the chat if we back with the visual. All right, fellas. Somebody said the camera froze. I need to that's probably what happened. Give me a one in the chat if we back, guys. Uh yeah, man. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Diddy, man. All this stuff, man. Ever since who was that? Ever since Cat Williams had that interview, man, it's just been getting crazy, bro. It's been getting crazy. But anyway, enough of that. Enough of that. Somebody asked another question about testosterone. Is being horny all the time an indication of high testosterone? Yes, my G. Yes, I mentioned that earlier. All right, it's a good indication. It's a good sign. As a man, you should be horny all the time, bro. Like I'm gonna be honest. When people say, "Oh, you little horny self, you always horny," you always horny, bro. You supposed to be horny. You a grown man with testosterone flowing through your bloodstream. You supposed to be horny. Now I'm not saying you should be walking around just smashing and sticking your dick in everything you see. You know what I mean? But you supposed to be horny all day as a man. All right, that's where that drive is gonna come from. That's where that ambition comes from. You ever heard of sexual transmutation? You take that sexual energy and you transmute it into something positive and productive. That's what a real man does. So when people complain and whine and try to demonize men for being horny all the time, bro, you are a man. You're supposed to be horny like all of the damn time. If you're not horny all of the time, you have a fucking problem. Excuse my language, but I'm passionate about this shit, bro. Cause like I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like men need to get back to being real men, bro, and stop letting society demonize you from being a man. All right, fellas, you are supposed to be horny all the time. This is why men with high testosterone wake up in the morning with morning wood. You know what I mean? So if you wake up with a hard dick, no diddy. If you wake up hard, bro, obviously, bro, like that's how it's supposed to be. All right, fellas. This is why little boys wake up with morning wood. All right, guys. That's a masculine trait. That's what it's supposed to be like. That means you're good. That means you're healthy. If you're not horny all the time, G, you need to get that check. All right. I'm not saying you gotta act out on your horniness either, G, but you just gotta get that check, bro. All right. But anyway, but anyway, as I said, guys, members only live feed this week, this upcoming week, Tuesday, 1 p.m., September 24th. All right, guys. For everybody in the chat, all right, guys, if you are a man of prestige and you like unique fragrances, guys, make sure you visit my website if you have not. I know there's a lot of guys because I'm recognizing names and avatars. There's a few guys in the chat who've already purchased one of my fragrances or both of my fragrances, actually. Um, Most guys who go to purchase a fragrance, they actually get both the charisma and the Superman. But obviously, you guys know uh, the charisma, top tier charisma is my favorite. This is actually what I'm wearing right now, fellas. Right now at this moment. All right, guys. This is the year-round fragrance, fellas, and very unique woody vanilla oud. All right, fellas. This is the most unique fragrance that I've ever worn. And just to let you guys know, my history with men's cologne is I've probably wore every single top men's cologne that you can find on the market. All right, guys, on the market. So, um, my opinion about this, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not biased at all. I'm not saying this because this is my cologne and this is my brand. I'm gonna be doing a video on my top 5 fragrances. The top tier charisma is in my top 5. I'm gonna be honest. The Superman, okay, the Superman is not in my top 5. It's in my top 10, but it's not in my top 5. I will be honest with you. I hate saying that because this is my brand and it's my fragrance, and this was made for me. Shout out to my distributor, man. He's probably watching this right now or will watch this. He's gonna hate when I say this, but the Superman is not in my top 10. Well, it's in my top 10. It's not in my top 5, but the charisma is definitely in my top 5. I will be doing a video on my other top 4 very soon. My distributor will be in that video with me, so you guys are gonna be able to meet him, the guy that's behind the scenes making all this stuff happen with the fragrances. All right, fellas. So you guys are gonna be able to meet him, and he's gonna give you his professional um, input on fragrances, what fragrances to wear, and all this stuff. All right, fellas. All right, so I'm gonna answer one more question before we exit the live stream today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. All right, fellas. No home. I'm gonna do 2 more questions. I'm gonna do 2 more questions. I feel like I only like cologne with vanilla in it. Yeah, bro. I mean, that's the best. I'm gonna be honest, bro. That's my favorite smell too. I like fragrances with notes of vanilla. Like it doesn't have to be a base vanilla in there. That doesn't have to be the main scent in there, G. But if it has a few notes of vanilla, I love it. I love vanilla, period. Like I got vanilla candles in the crib. I love vanilla. So yeah. Do you think most females will prefer the guy with a good physique and arms than a skinny, good-looking guy? Great question. Great question. It really depends on the woman. All right, and it really depends on the type of woman. Baseline, younger women tend to like, the skinny dude, good looking, face card. He's probably a 9 or 10 in the face. Don't really have a great physique, probably tatted up. Little pretty boy. Not really a pretty boy, but a skinny, good looking dude. Skinny dude with a good face card. All right, that's what younger girls tend to go for. There are some younger girls who like guys with great physiques because obviously it's a natural primitive thing, but because of societal and how people are programmed and what people are exposed to and their upbringing. Most women these days like that, skinny, good looking 9 or 10 face guy. Now, older women, what I found is older women who grew up more in the 90s and 80s and stuff, they like the more solid, good dudes with good physiques. And that's something I've seen. This is a societal change that I've seen. A lot of women today, younger girls, they like the skinny dudes. Older women like the bigger dudes. Now, gym girls, girls that hit the gym hard, girls that got a little bit of muscle on them. I'm not talking about swole, but they got the thick muscle legs, and you can tell when a girl hit the gym. The gym chicks, they like the muscular dudes, and the reason why is because I believe it's hypergamy. Like, women always want a man who's bigger and more dominant and has more physicality than them. So it's really depending on where she's at. If she's like this little young chick, little skinny, 110-pound young chick, she's probably not going to want a guy with this big physique because it may be intimidating to her or may just not be her thing. Okay, guys. But if you find a woman who's in shape, who has some, lean muscle on her, she's probably going to prefer a man with muscle on him as well. Okay, guys, because he's going to be stronger than her. He can throw her around in the bed and things like that. All right, fellas. So it really depends. From my experience, older women like me when I'm bigger. Younger women like me when I'm more lean. Simple as that. All right. How strongly can she smell testosterone when she's sitting directly next to you? Would she say something about it? No. She's not just gonna go look over to you and say, "Hey, I can smell your testosterone." Women are not gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like, they don't even know that they're smelling testosterone. Testosterone doesn't really have a significant smell, but pheromones give off a scent. Like this scent. It's kind of an undertone scent that women can sense and they can smell. How extreme is it? It really depends on your levels and it depends on what you're doing. These pheromones are going to be released more when you're doing strenuous activity, like when you're sweating and when you're in the gym and you're pumping iron and you're lifting weights. She's going to feel and smell it more. Okay, guys. So it's not like a thing where, you know, she can smell you and she's like, oh my God, you smell masculine or you smell like testosterone. It doesn't work like that. All right. It doesn't work like that. So, but yeah, anyway, she can sense it. Like, who said that? Epic behavior, yeah, on a subconscious level. That's why I love you guys in the chat, man. You guys always finish my sentences, fellas. I love it. All right. Shout out to Saul Martinez. All right, for the super chat. Hey, G, I appreciate you joining today. You know what I'm saying? You can be anywhere, G. It's Saturday night, man. I know a lot of guys out partying, getting drunk, lowering their testosterone as we speak. But you guys are here getting better. All right, fellas. Shout out to everybody who hitting the gym tonight. All right. Shout out to everybody who hitting the gym right after the live stream. Shout out to everybody who hit the gym today. All right. If you did not hit the gym today, put a 2 in the chat. All right, we're gonna have accountability session. Y'all better not try to jump off the stream when I ask this. All right. If you did not hit the gym today, put a 2 in the chat. If you did hit the gym today, put a 1 in the chat. I just want to know. I'm trying to find out something. I'm trying to see something. All right, fellas. So put a 1 in the chat if you hit the gym today. Put a 2 in the chat if you didn't. All right, we're gonna have accountability. It's a little accountability test, man. That's all good. If you didn't hit the gym, it's all good. But if you didn't, put a 2 in the chat. All right. Come on, guys. Let's get it, man. Let me know. Don't lie to me. I mean, you watching, man. That's the least you can do is let me know, man. The least you can do. That'll be your cover charge for the live stream today. Your cover charge is a 1 or a 2 in the chat if you hit the gym or not. If you did not hit the gym, put a 2 in the chat. If you did hit the gym, put a 1 in the chat. I'm gonna wait a few minutes. We'll take a pause to give a few people to catch up. Make sure y'all like the stream, fellas. All right, make sure y'all like the stream. Because when we get off the stream, fellas, this video is going to be uploaded for everybody who missed. So I want to make sure this gets out to as many men as possible. The more likes, the more it hits the algorithm, the more men that see this. All right, fellas. And the more top tier men that we will have in the world today. All right. Come on, fellas. Ones or twos. One in the chat if you hit the gym. Two in the chat if you didn't. Why am I doing this? For accountability. All right, accountability. I see a mix of ones and twos, and I see some excuses with some twos as well. All right, fellas. I just want a little accountability check, man. All right, make sure y'all hit the gym. Gee, if you have not hit the gym, if you put a two in the chat and you haven't hit the gym, all right. If you haven't done any type of workout today, after this, go ahead and do 20 push-ups. All right. 20 push-ups. That's all you need. You ain't even got to hit a whole workout. I just need 20 push-ups for accountability reasons. All right. That's your fee. That's your fee for miss. Now, if you want to go get a full workout in, go get your workout in. All right. I recommend it. That's just 10 times better. But at least get some push-ups in, G. Every day you should be doing something. All right, something, not just to look good, but to feel good. All right, fellas, to feel good, to feel great. All right, guys, this is what Body Game is about. All right, guys. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Remember, this Tuesday, September 24th, this Tuesday, we will be doing a members only live stream where we'll be talking about nutrition, meal prepping, what to eat, what not to eat, what do I eat, what do I eat when I'm lean, what do I eat when I'm bulky, all of that. All right, fellas. So I appreciate you guys again for tuning in. This live stream will be played back, so you will be able to go watch it if you missed out today. All right, fellas. Thanks again, guys. We out of here. We are out of here. We are out of here. Let's get it.